Hello good people, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is another day, a day whereby I've come for the farm visit to one of my friends actually who introduced me to this farming venture. We are going to learn about the beaking, the process itself, and the importance of the beaking in the birds. We have 500 birds which are going to be debeaked. We are going to meet the professionals who are doing the process. They will introduce themselves and they'll take us through the process, the starting of the process and the process itself. Karibuni, welcome. So in here we have the two professionals. I can see the house as well is demarcated, and we know very well the demarcation. The purpose of demarcation is to prevent the stampeding in this process. This other professional who has the birds on the heads, and she's adding over to the professional who is debeaking. So these are partitioning and picking them one by one is to avoid choking. So careful, she's picking the birds and adding over to the debeaking expert. So I'll add over to the experts so that they can tell us more on the process and the tool they are using for debeaking. For we know very well there are so many different ways of debeaking.
Kwa majina Daniel Jogu Mwangi.
Daniel Jogu Mwangi, Joyce Mwangi. What type of debeaking are you using?
This is called manual debeaking.
So it is called the manual debeaking. How old is our chicks?
Chicks are 3 months old.
3 months old.
Yes.
Exactly, I can see you. What is happening to the tongue?
Naishika juu nisikate tongue yake.
Okay, so he's placing the tongue inwards to avoid the cutting off or the chopping of the tongue. Mwangi, for how many years have you been in this field?
10 years now.
10 years now. So he's an expert with wide knowledge. Mwangi, I can see some part of the beak being larger than the other one, and especially the lower part. Kindly tell us why.
Hiyo ni maumbile, na lakini ukikata unapaswa ukate ndio iwe sababa hapa.
Sambamba. So that it can be straight. And I can see you burning.
Na ishoma juu iache kutoa damu.
Iache kutoa damu. Okay, thank you, so that it cannot overbleed. So Mwangi is our expert here, and actually he's going to do a lot of work today because he's expected to perform in 500 birds. Kindly tell us why you're performing it in 3 months. Do you know it can be performed in many at different ages?
Unapaswa kuikata kutoka 3 to 3.5 months.
Okay.
Ndio ipe time yake ya kupona.
Okay.
Juu by 4.5 months itakuwa inaanza kutaga.
Alright. And Mwangi, why is it important to debeak?
Hii ni kuzuia cannibalism.
Cannibalism, which is the major one.
Yeah.
What else?
Na kukula mayai.
Ula mayai, egg eating, what
Yeah,
else?
hizo ndizo common.
The common ones with the hens and especially the layers. Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel Mwangi. So guys, I'll take you through the debeaking process, all of it, by first of all, for us understanding what is debeaking and the aids and also the methods that are supposed to be used for debeaking in which age. And again, on the same, we are going to review the procedure of the debeaking, how it is done. And on the same note, we are going to summarize with the importance of debeaking. So we start one by debeaking. What is debeaking? And actually, majority condemn this act in some parts of the in the world, that it is illegal. It is you see. But then, as we summarize, we'll see the importance of debeaking. So debeaking, this is also referred to as beak trimming. It is the partial removal of the beak of poultry, especially the layer hens and turkeys, although it may also be performed on quails and ducks. Debeaking, this is referred to as beak trimming. It is the partial removal of the beak of poultry, especially the layer hens and turkeys, although it may also be performed on quails and ducks. We move on to age and methods of debeaking. We have several methods of debeaking and different ages when birds can be debeaked. The age of debeaking will determine the procedure. One of the debeaking methods, we have block debeaking. This one is performed at 5 to 7 days. Two, we have the debeaking, which is performed between 2 to 10 weeks. And we use electric debeaking machine. It is advisable to remove 1/3 to 1/2 of the beak at this particular stage. The lower beak remain longer than the upper one. It is important to note this with the birds between 10 to 12 weeks. 16, it is necessary you cut one beak at a time. You can see, as we've done this process today, our expert has done it in that way. He started with the upper and then lower beak. So that is now another method. We move on to method 3. It is important to note this when debeaking at this particular stage, between 10 to 12 weeks of age, it is necessary to cut one beak at a time. As you've seen with our expert today, he started with the upper beak, later on to the lower beak. We move on to another stage, that is between 16 and 18 weeks of debeaking. Birds may debeak around this age, but you do not remove much of the beak. Debeak each mandible separately, and the lower beak should at least be 0 to 3 centimeters longer than the upper beak to avoid food wastage. We move on to another Procedure step, it is for the fourth one, touch up debeaking. If the early debeaking has not been done properly, many beaks will partially grow back by 8 to 9 weeks. So this is the recurrence. When the debeaking was done, then the beaks grow. So this one can be done, and this is in order you do the touching. It is called the touch up by another partial debeaking. So in this one, it is whereby the beaks have grown again. Remember, if they were done earlier in the early stages, and especially when they are days old, it can reoccur, and we do the touch up debeaking. I feel sorry for this bird, but anyway, there's so many importance of debeaking, and that's why I want to let it go, so that it can feed and release the stress. After we know the stages of debeaking, when the birds should be debeaked, and the methods, so we want to see the importance. Why is it necessary? Even if some people find it evil or it's not good, it's not a good treatment, but it is very necessary. It is a necessary evil. So one of the importance of debeaking is to avoid pecking with the birds. The other one, which is the main one, it is to prevent feather picking and cannibalism. The other one, it is important to debake to reduce food wastage. And you know the price of food nowadays, of the feeds nowadays. So it is important to debake. The other one, with the egg eating, which can be common, and especially with the layers, when you debake, we prevent the egg cracking, or if you may want, egg eating with the birds. Another importance of debeaking, it is to have a uniformed flock for uniformity. And the last one, the last and not the least, it is to have less number of calves. So basically, that's why debeaking is important or very necessary. There are some points to observe during debeaking. One is degrees Celsius. Another one, you should give the chicks anti-stress to relieve stress. Do not debake under extreme temperatures. That is, the best temperatures should be between 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Another point 4 to note, do not debake during a vaccination period. Point 5, never use sulfur drugs during debeaking. This may increase the bleeding. Point 6, during the debeaking, keep the tongue away with the index finger between the upper and lower beak to avoid burning. Point 7 that you should note, remove the feeds 4 to 5 hours before debeaking and give feed immediately after debeaking. When the birds are angry, they will start eating directly afterwards. This stops possible bleeding. 8. Change the blades regularly. Do not use old blades. Point 9. Use vitamin K with the vitamins. 10. It is recommended to check the beaks before production starts, but with too long beaks or very long lower beaks should be trimmed again. The last one, my dear viewers, prevent the piling of chicks during the debeaking operation to avoid choking. Now it's time to say goodbye after the debeaking process. Kindly, dear viewers, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do by clicking on the subscribing button, and you can as well smash on the notification bell for the notification whenever I upload a new video. And again, my dear viewers, you can click on the like button if you find my videos interesting and informative. Bye guys.